Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories.
This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole and it's by user AfterSoil3386. Am I the a-hole for refusing to delete a video of my dad proposing to his girlfriend, even though my dad doesn't want my mom to see or hear what he said? My 15 female dad, 44 male, wanted my help to video his proposal to his girlfriend, 27 female, now fiancé. It was Saturday at a park. My dad was in a suit, but that's typical of him. Unless he's going to the beach or gym, if he's going out, he wears a suit. He was doing his part well, sitting on a bench and looking at his phone, making things seem like a typical day. My sister, 12 female, was there, but she didn't know what my dad was planning. After my dad's girlfriend had finished jogging, I did what my dad asked me to do. I asked her to pose for a picture because this would make a great shot for her Instagram. That gave me the excuse to start videoing her. When my dad walked up to her and held both her hands, she started crying. She realized at that moment what was going on. It's typical for her to cry, but my dad started crying. I've literally never seen my dad cry before. Here is some of what he said that he is now bothered that he said. He told her that he never knew that he could love a woman the way he loves her. He said that she is his soulmate and his life partner. He said she's the most beautiful woman he's ever seen. He said with her, me, and my sister, he now has everything he's always wanted. When my dad tried to get down on one knee, she tried to stop him as she was saying yes several times, but he still went down on one knee to propose with the ring. She said yes. Later, my dad brought everyone home. His fiancée was napping. I was showing my dad the video and was cringing at himself. He said he can't let my mom, 45 female, see the video. He said some of the things he said were cruel to my mom, that it undermined their marriage. He explained to me which parts of the video he thought were cruel. He asked me to delete the video. My dad's fiancée is very sensitive, very sentimental and prone to crying. If she were to hear that the video got deleted, she would be devastated. She would especially be devastated to hear the video got deleted because my dad was thinking of my mom's feelings over her feelings. I told my dad that when he and his fiancée are in the room, I will unlock my phone and hand it to them and they can delete it together. He said we have to delete it now and I said no. I told him clearly that I wanted no part in the video getting deleted. My dad looked like he wanted to yell, but he stopped himself. My dad looked very stressed. He told me to go take a shower and do my homework. I left him as he was sitting down, hands over his face, looking as if someone died. The moment for me to hand my phone to them hasn't happened yet. They had spent yesterday doing post-proposal stuff. I think my dad is stalling. I do appreciate that my dad is so concerned about my mom's feelings. I understand that this is a tough situation for him. I don't want any part of his fiancé's unhappiness if the video gets deleted. His fiancé is already intimidated by my mom. If the video gets deleted, it would forever change the relationship between my dad and his fiancé. Am I the a-hole? No, OP, of course you're not the a-hole and you shouldn't even be judged for it. Your dad is the one that created this whole situation. It was the words that came out of his mouth that now he is regretting, and he's putting that burden on you to delete the video and then maybe even have to explain why the video is deleted. He basically gave you a hand grenade and pulled a pin and now you're holding it. So if I was in your shoes, I'd throw the grenade right back at him. I would transfer the video to his phone. I don't know what kind of phones you have, but if you do send it by message, delete the message. So then the video is no longer in your phone and the only copy is in your dad's phone. And then he gets to decide what he does with the video. That way, you play no part in anything that could happen later. And whatever fallout occurs, it is all on him, like it should be. So no, OP, you're not the a-hole. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. And now let's check out the community comments. Vickers says, no a-holes here. I actually think it's pretty respectful of him to be concerned that what he said would be hurtful to your mom. Just because they are divorced doesn't mean he wants to hurt her. nor does it mean he's prioritizing his ex over his fiancé. It's likely he really meant that stuff he said to his fiancé, but doesn't see the need to have it rubbed in your mom's face, which is admirable. I do think it's a bit disrespectful to his fiancé to delete it outright, and I don't blame you for not wanting to delete it. Why can't there just be an agreement that it's never shown to your mom? Sunset Reddit says, if she wants to post the video, delete the sound and put a sweet love song on the video instead. Problem solved. Also, the fact that he doesn't want to hurt his ex, the mother of his children, I actually think is a good quality. Plus, harming her could harm the kid through harming the co-parenting, maybe by making her depressed. We do not know how the relationship ended, and not wanting to harm her doesn't mean he isn't over her. It means he, at least in that regard, is a decent human being. I don't want any of my exes back, but except from a few, I would do my best not to hurt them because that they don't deserve. Beached Not Broken says, I understand why your mom would be unhappy, knowing that your dad proposed to her when she was never the most beautiful woman in his life, or his partner when really he was just waiting for his soulmate to start high school. Not the a-hole. Send her the video. If your dad is going to marry her, he has to man up and be true in what he feels and believes. Destro23 says, quote, that it undermined their marriage, end quote. The marriage that ended in divorce? How would your mom even see the video anyway? Not the a-hole. Your dad probably shouldn't be getting married again if he's still worried what his ex-wife is going to think about his relationship with his new and much younger fiancé. And Opie responds, his fiancé may want to post it to social media, but she wouldn't if my dad asked her not to. She has always been respectful when my dad asks her to keep things private. Glittering Swan 4911 says, she's a bit young for him, isn't she? She was only 12 when you were born. She'll be more like a big sister than a stepmom. Lol. The video sounds very cringe. Depends what happened to cause your parents' divorce for your mom to be hurt by this video. If she chose to end things, then she wouldn't care, but the fact he is worried about her feelings is making me think your dad hurt her. Your mother gave him you and your sister, so back when they got engaged, he would have felt the same for her, and he feels he's disrespected her by saying the same things to his new fiancé. Sounds like a guilt. Send the video to his girlfriend if you want, but it's your phone, so you don't have to delete it. Maybe he needs to tone down the cringy behavior. And Katina Doc says, it's not your mom's feelings, it's your dad feeling like he made an ass out of himself. He's a grown man bawling over his 27-year-old girlfriend. The guys are going to give him a lot of crap for that. Your dad should man up, watch the video, and tell her that it makes him uncomfortable and he'd prefer that no one see it. The community agrees OP is not the a-hole, and they have a lot of theories as to why the dad doesn't want the video to go public. So now let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. Let me clear two things up before the update. People think I, 15 female, was prioritizing my dad's fiancé, 27 female, over my mom, 45 female. I looked at the situation this way. Who is going to get hurt more? Given the personality and situation of both women. I could be wrong, but I think my dad's fiancé would be far more hurt if the video got deleted than if my mom saw the video. I don't think it's even close. My dad's fiancé would be devastated if the video got deleted, and the reason for its deletion is my dad, 44 male, was prioritizing my mom over his fiancé. Plus, I think of which choice would hurt my dad more. His life would be worse if the video got deleted than if my mom saw the video. The second thing, the age thing. I didn't like my dad's fiancé, then girlfriend, at first. Not only is she young, she seemed like an irresponsible, unstable airhead. There were other people judging, but people have changed their minds. My dad and his fiancé fit together. They make each other better. They increase each other's pros and decrease each other's cons. Plus, I don't know what anyone expects me to do about their relationship. Now the update. The genius idea of just sending both my dad and his fiancé the proposal video, then deleting it off my phone worked. My dad was basically backed into a corner. He had to talk to his fiancé right away, as she could have posted the video to social media. Today, my dad's fiancé quickly gave me a hug. She was thanking me for what I did. She told me she knows that my dad wanted me to delete the video because he didn't want my mom to get her feelings hurt about what he said. My dad's fiance said the video is just for her, my dad, and me. My dad's fiance promised to never post it to social media. My dad's fiance even said she's not going to show it to her own family members or even acknowledge that the video exists. When I saw my dad, he seemed happy, or at least his calm, nonchalant version of happy. I talked to my mom on a video call. Even though it wasn't the main topic, she had mentioned that she knows that my dad and his fiance are now engaged. She asked me how I felt about it, and I said I'm good. I asked her how she feels about it, and she said she feels weird about it. She said some stuff about it, including a joke that she hopes my dad's fiance doesn't ask her to be the maid of honor. Next weekend will be the beginning of my week with my mom, so I'll get a better sense of how she's doing then. I have some emotions at the moment, but things are mostly positive. Well, OP, good for you. Crisis averted and everyone seems to be happy. Everything was talked about and is out in the open. That's a good update. Thanks so much for sharing, OP, and here's wishing you the best. Take care. And now let's move on to the next post that also has an update. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole, and it's by user DisastrousWash8968. Am I the a-hole for telling my coworker I can't babysit her daughter anymore? I, 20 female, am very close with one of my coworkers, female 31. She has a very sweet 9-year-old daughter. I babysit this daughter most weekends for free. I also have a lot of pets, including several fish tanks. My coworker's daughter has always been super interested in my pets, wanting to hold, feed, and watch them. One day I noticed a bad smell coming from one of the tanks. I looked around and noticed several dead fish on the floor behind the tank. My tanks have floating plants that keep the fish from jumping out, not to mention the amount of them that have come out was very odd. I have cameras in my house, mostly to watch my pets while I'm at work. I looked to see if there was anything odd captured on the camera closest to the fish tank and saw something disturbing. My coworker's kid had stuck her hand in the tank, held it there, I'm assuming until one of the fish swam near it, pulled it out, tossed it behind the tank, then repeated this several more times. Then she walked away, leaving the fish to die. As soon as I saw that, I got very angry and called my coworker and told her that her daughter was not allowed back to my place. I explained what happened, expecting her to be disgusted and apologize for her daughter's actions. Instead, she got mad at me. I called her on a Friday and was supposed to watch her daughter the next day while she worked. I explained that I wouldn't put my animals in harm's way by letting her come back to my house. She said some stupid crap about people making mistakes and that her daughter is young. This pissed me off even more, and I told her that this is how serial killers are made and that her daughter needed therapy before she decided killing animals was boring and moved on to humans. Then I hung up on her. It's been a few days. I'm feeling very conflicted. I love this kid. I've been babysitting her since I was 17 and she was 6. She's a very sweet and quiet girl, and from what I've personally observed, she loves my animals. But I have video evidence of her killing my fish. I don't want her to try and go for one of my other pets or kill any more of my fish. I genuinely can't think of a reason she would have done this that doesn't involve her just wanting to kill the fish. Am I the a-hole for not letting her come back to my house? Well, for starters, you're not the a-hole for uninviting anybody to your house ever. It is your house, so the boundary is yours to set. And what she did is very disturbing, but you also said she's a very sweet and polite girl, so those two kind of don't match. There's some missing information here that you're probably not aware of. I mean, you've been babysitting this girl for past 3 years, and she's never done anything like this, but now it did happen. So even though, of course, you are absolutely in the right to say, no, I don't want to babysit anymore, if you are curious to find out, maybe you want to talk to your, I don't know if it's still a friend or not. Show her the video and see if you guys can get to the bottom of it. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. And now let's check out the community comments. No Teacher 3313 says, not the a-hole. She knows she's killing the fish. But also, you're 20, and why are you spending every weekend babysitting for free? Even without the disturbing fish situation, please enjoy your free time. You are not obligated to be someone else's free childcare. And Dopey responds, my idea of enjoying my free time is watching TV or playing video games, lol, both of which I can do while babysitting. That's also why I did it for free. I wasn't a super high effort babysitter, mostly just let her come over so she wasn't alone at her house. Otherwise Chemist 920 says, co-worker, not even a friend or relative, and you're playing nanny for free for an unparented little sociopath? How did you even get into this situation? Sounds like your older co-worker just completely took advantage of a teenager for free childcare. That was totally inappropriate. Of course, she's a crappy person in other ways too. So Much Song says, not the a-hole, but why were you even doing free babysitting for anyone? And why are you still describing this child as sweet when you have video evidence of her killing your fish? She's not 2 or 3 where she may not understand what she's doing. She's 9. And Dopey responds, before this, I would have described her as an angel. It's hard to wrap my head around the fact she would even do something like this. Opie's edit. I feel like I need to clarify some things. I'm using babysitting loosely here. For the most part, we would watch TV together or she would watch me play games in the living room. She would hang out with the cats and dogs and sometimes help me with my other animals. Sometimes she would ask me what to do. I wouldn't follow her around the house, especially the past year, because I trusted her to make good decisions and I have cameras that send me notifications for loud noises. I assure you all that she was receiving attention. If this was something she did for attention, then why do it now and not in the 3 years I've been babysitting her? Also, to clarify why I did it for free, my coworker is a very busy woman and a single mother who works 2 jobs. She's also very helpful at work and often is the one who covers shifts when needed. I also didn't mind having her daughter around because she would offer to help clean up while she's here. She's also a very quiet kid, very willing to sit and watch TV for hours at a time. It never felt particularly like a job, and I didn't want to make her mother pay for another thing on top of everything she already pays for. The community agrees OP is not the a-hole, and they're mostly bothered that OP is doing free childcare instead of the whole child killing fish situation. Anyways, let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. A couple of days ago, I posted about my co-worker's 9-year-old daughter killing my fish, causing me to not let her back at my house. I finally talked to the daughter. I allowed her to come over on Sunday. I asked her if she knew why I was upset, and she told me she hadn't known I was upset. Her mother lied to her and said the reason I wouldn't let her come over last weekend and Saturday was because I was busy. I then showed her the video and explained why I was upset. First, here's some more context. The fish she killed were guppies. If you know anything about guppies, you know they breed like nothing else. You can go from having 2 to having 50 in a month. It's insane and something I complained about often. Every couple of months, I give some of my guppies to a local fish store. I referred to this as getting rid of the babies. My co-worker's daughter told me that she thought she was helping me, that she got rid of the fish for me. She said she knew that I didn't like having too many of them and had noticed that there were a lot and thought she'd help get rid of some. I then explained that I give the fish back to the pet store when there's too many, not kill them. I also explained that killing animals, no matter how small, is wrong, especially in the way she did it, leaving them to suffer. She apologized profusely, continuing to say she thought she was helping. I asked why she hadn't told me about it or asked before she did it, and she didn't have much of an explanation, just kept apologizing. She was very upset, so I dropped the subject. I'm not sure how to feel about this explanation. She seemed sincere when she said it. I want to believe her, but I'm still confused on why she hadn't told me about it. Well, OP, I'm right there with you. I'm also confused. I mean, the explanation is kind of sounding, she heard you say you had too many, that you would get rid of them as well, but throwing them behind the tank. She knew what she was doing, so that's what's making me uneasy about it. Still, if you want to keep babysitting her, I would definitely keep a stronger eye on her. In the meantime, here's wishing you the best and thanks for sharing. Now let's finish this video with a mood booster post. This post is from the subreddit Petty Revenge and it's by user ChallengeCareless675. They ruined my laundry, so I made their next load memorable. This happened a few years ago when I was living in the dorms at college. If you've ever done laundry in a dorm, you already know. It's basically a gladiator arena with lint. The dryers were not cheap, so I always tried to be strategic and economical. I'd set a timer, show up early so I could get my clothes out right when it was finished. One day, I came back a few minutes before my cycle was done, with my bag of snack-sized Doritos, feeling very responsible, only to find out my clothes had been pulled out early and dumped onto a table. Annoying already, but it gets better. The table was covered in a puddle of soda, so now my almost dry clothes were damp, sticky, and smelled like a Pepsi. I was furious. Not mild inconvenience, furious. More like, I paid for that dryer time and now I have to rewash everything furious. Now, I'm not a destructive person, but I do believe in educational pettiness. I noticed the person's clothes were still in the dryer, so I added the full bag of snack-sized Doritos into their laundry load, shut the door, and set it to high heat, and let the cycle continue. When that dryer finished, I happened to be hanging out in the lounge outside the laundry area. A girl came out looking angry with a laundry basket full of orange-streaked Dorito-smelling clothes. Was it mature? No. Did it restore balance to the universe? Also no. Did it make me feel better in that exact moment? Absolutely. Moral of the story, don't touch other people's laundry, or you might end up smelling like a walking snack aisle. And that is a Dorito lesson. Thanks so much for sharing, OP. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.